I used to, when I was at IIIT's CCT during 2016 to 19, 3.5 years. So I used to teach this course, participatory methods for societal development. So basically my areas are, GIS is how to make maps using computers. And the village people like maps a lot, Naksha. And how to get their children to make the maps, how their adults can use them, is visualization, pictures speak better than words. That's how I got interested in that. Nowadays I am also looking at satellite imagery, drones, etc. All our attempt is to make sure the locals take control. For example, if I want a village surveyed now, drone can cost 2 to 4 lakhs ऐसा एक map के लिए. But if a village boy can be trained to use a smaller DJI drone, that's what we are trying last 6 months. In about a month, one man month you can do it, 50,000 rupees. But the money also stays in the village. It is cheaper. Let's say every quarter, ideally, if you can get a village map, instead of using Google Map as a base, you can use your latest crop map as the base for discussions. Otherwise, it is a little jarring. What you see is not what is out there. Physical boundaries are fine, but the crop boundaries are not same. Anyway, so that's what I am looking at. So GIS, remote sensing, how to take it to people. That participatory means how to take these computer technologies to people. So middle school child should be able to use these devices. And modeling is not just stop at visualization, but analyze, so that you can truly understand the problem and solve the problem. So that this is how we want to help them. There is one international group, Environmental Modeling Software and Society. So they have a very good journal. Their conference is okay. So I am associated with them. So I will, first 2 slides are about the course, because Lakshmanji said we should focus on the course. Then let's see. So that link is where, when you propose to the board or the Senate, you have to say what is your syllabus, etc., etc. So that document has it. It was a humanities elective course, only 2 credit. And I was teaching programming, but this humanities course also I was teaching. And so basically, I will explain these words later. So why do we need participatory methods? Rapid rural resource appraisal, which leads to this participatory rural resource appraisal, what our Andhra yesterday was talking about. PRA is a very common thing among NGOs. Then participatory mapping, participatory GIS, participatory modeling. This is roughly what I used to teach. And the grading was, there are a lot of papers on these. Primarily, our NGO people are doing a lot of work in this, but they don't publish as much less. You end up quoting the foreign papers, working in developing countries only, but mostly authored by. So read those papers and try to get a feel. So that I used to make as a 50%, because my ability to take them out to field was a little restricted, because that thing, the institute was just coming up and there were issues. But still I used to insist on half at least village field work, and not just casual visits, but more like what I was, so more immersive, go spend whatever. And ideally you do mapping and make a plan preparation, or if you are more, everybody wants to make an app, no? So okay, fine, you do, but test it, make sure, because the moment you test it, you realize all the pitfalls of that. You think it's your kaka, baby is dear to it, but when you go out, nobody will understand what you thought is a great piece of, usability trials, etc. So resources, all those I used to mention. So at that place, there was a new institute which had just come up, the public-private mode, IIIT CCT in Andhra, Chennai border. So I had started NSS unit, blood donation camp, villages. I used to do more casual ones. So this is what I have. So I will quickly rush through a lot of slides just to give a background. But any point, Lakshman, if you think I am diverging, just let me know.
No, the slides will focus on these courses or?
Okay, so basically, I said need for participatory methods. Why do I think it is required participatory? Then rural, what is rural resource appraisal? So I am explaining the syllabus basically. Okay, so I will quickly finish and then we can come back or not. I will go very fast and then we can come back and discuss it. Okay, so basically I went to this village and in 95 I went and settled down here. For 14 years I was there. So this is a very thriving agriculture. cash crops, irrigated agriculture, sugarcane, mango were the main cash crops. Paddy and groundnut only for consumption. And sugarcane drinks a lot of water, much more than paddy. Paddy is only you raise when you have water. It's a limited 3 months. You know you have water, you raise paddy. If you don't have water, you won't do. And typically you end up doing in the more rainy time. Whereas sugarcane, it's a 2-year crop. So you will be irrigating in peak summer, May, when your throat is going dry, you have to flood irrigate that place. So it really sugarcane requires an order of magnitude more water than paddy. In a dry, and sugarcane, once you sow, you can't let go for next 2 years. If borewell dries, you will do whatever it takes to drill deeper, and that's why people get stuck in dead traps. Anyway, sorry, that's not intention. So by 2001, that bubble had burst. Now, what I am trying to say is understanding the problem. Root cause analysis is very important. Otherwise, what you will say, water has gone. Immediately, farmers will say, let us do water harvesting structure. Farmers is not their money, government money. Contractor is very happy, 10-20%, if not 50% is going to make out of it. Okay. Whereas government also is very happy spending money. Government of India 5,000 crores per year. I'm talking about 2010. It might have changed now. And all those are suboptimal by their own admission. No, they call them suboptimal implementation because people are not interested. Contractors come in, wherever there is material, they will build. So this is a complete solution. So from outside, if our student goes to village and he sees there is water crisis, you put recharge structures. People will all nod head. You come back and you do, but this is not a complete because you can't fill a leaky whole pot like that. So unless you control withdrawal discharge, this is not going to work. So okay, within that also, stakeholder participation improves efficiency. For example, the top one I showed, where actually there is a Lakshman in that. So to please it, so there is Lakshman somewhere there. So we did a project with MORD, Ministry of Rural Development. So it was part of that. Now this structure is a totally useless structure. They are basically in Hyderabad they decided all tank bodies, the overflow sluice will make it pakka. This overflow never overflowed, last was in 2001. No? Otherwise it doesn't have enough catchment. Things have changed. But still because the Hyderabad scheme said overflow everywhere they spent 5 lakhs. Whereas this small body is about 3,000 rupees we did as part of our project. The people come together, they did it themselves. Within the first rains itself, if I don't know if you can see, the whole got filled with sand. That's the kind of erosion that is happening. The natural resource degradation in the village is enormous. Because they are aspiring because of mobile, communication facilities, they want our lifestyle, urban lifestyle. But the resources, so they cut down all their forests, their soil is gone. So once you cut the forest, trees go away and water becomes into the soil. It washes away all the soil. You walk on my tank pond, it is full of silt. We are through NABARD, so many schemes we are desilting. We have never come into the base section. It's just alternating sand clay layers. Anyway, so this is much better than what. Stakeholder involvement improves efficiency is a known thing, and government schemes are now at best working at 1/3 efficiency. Anyway, so but is water harvesting system the correct solution? Most of us, if initial BTech boy were to go, this is the kind of impression he'll come, make everybody is happy, is all operation successful, patient dead. So how to do root cause analysis to understand? So for example, when we farmer, why is groundwater crisis? Rains have come down. Whereas he will not accept that he is the cause of the problem. He kind of subconsciously knows. So first one is it started 50 feet. It is not that in 2001 the bubble burst suddenly. It was a gradual decline. So from 50 feet to 250 to 400 to 600 feet. And at 600 feet some magic happened because that is where the hard rock comes. You can go deeper, there is no fissures, no place to hold water. So though it happened suddenly, the bubble bursting, it is because of a previous history what we have done. So we mapped, we walked around 3 days in the village, each well, everything. We mapped how it could have been in the 670s, how you see the number of wells has gone up from 76 to 198. And then we did some more computations. And then what bullocks used to draw water before from these open wells. Whereas now you have horsepower motors drawing water, so that itself 3 times more. And bullock can only work a few hours a day, early morning hour before the sun is up. Whereas pump can go on, luckily because electricity cut, it's not 12-24 hours, it's only 6 to 8 hours. The number of hours has increased, number of wells has increased. Together if you see, discharge withdrawal is some 13 times more than what it used to be earlier. This went on for 2 years. That is what explains this graph, not less rains. Okay, this kind of they know, the village people, at least a third of them are super intelligent. They know all this. It just helps them to bring out those numbers together with them. So this is what I feel we should teach our students to do any problem. You talk about gender. You should go live with them. Yes, I'm not. It could be that I am biased about gender. I might not be aware. But I think you should cohabitate with them. You should really see, because I have not seen this kind of a conflict in the community that I have lived. I might have been ignorant at least. Possible that as a male I might be seeing it from a different perspective. But it is what the validation, ground reality check. So now if you see 13 times, whereas recharge has stayed the same, if anything it has gone down. So now if you do discharge by recharge, in the till 80s, it was the same order of magnitude. All these numbers are thumb rule thing which hydrologists won't accept. He would like to confuse you with the SPAT model and whatnot, so that only he can talk and you. Whereas this villager is able to. So it's the same order of magnitude, 2/3. You just take it as 1. Whereas now it has gone up an order of magnitude time more. And if your expenditure is more 10 times the income, how long will it be before you sell your house and land and everything? And after that, it will be whatever you earn that year is what you have for expenditure. That's exactly what happened. So 2001, after the burst, the number of wells went back to what it was before, 59 wells. Now it is a little, because its bore wells are 600 feet deep, is no longer the lowest part of the village. They are more, previously all the rich guys would have been at the lowest part. The poorer guys would be the periphery, like our forest village that we went to in a way. So whereas now borewell doesn't distinguish all this. It will, you can see
normal rainfall condition over there.
About 800 mm. It is decent. It is not desert like Rajasthan. Anantapur is 400 mm in Andhra. 1000 mm plus is very good. 800 mm is decent rainfall. And actually when it was 50 feet, sucking water from deeper layer, main problem is to be fungal diseases for the cows. They go grazing in watery area, and water used to last in the rivers till April, like the Nala we saw yesterday. In April also it used to flow. Whereas now by January it dries up. No rain, it stops next day. Because there is nothing left in the 600 feet. Anyway, now we are back to where we were in 70s, but at what cost? So whatever water you are picking up at 50 feet, you have now sent it all the way down to 600 feet and picking up from there. Same quantum. And who is paying for the electricity? The taxpayer. Because it's free electricity, politically sensitive. So 50,000 per annum, if I have to pay my electricity, no farmer in my village will do farming. Okay. So there is a good concept. Actually somebody said give them coupons. Charge them for electricity, but give them coupons, whatever, so that I can trade those coupons. So all of us will go fallow. We will sell our into industry guys. But that means electricity guys can't do wrong booking. All the theft they will put on agriculture sector. Now they can't do that. So it got blocked. Now, but the farmers have lost more than 5 lakhs for each borewell. It costs 1 to 2 lakhs to sink the tube well. So much of money we have sunk and all that. So farmers have lost. Government is losing recurring. So this is the kind of thing we should understand and see. Look, the solution is somewhere for regulating the withdrawal. Recharge is just don't go blindly and just go put up structures. So that's what I complained about Afghan over there. So I'm not saying so different solutions are required, but here also is anyway. So we did some more computations. Even in this 59 wells, the amount of water is still the same. It's not that it has gone away. It is roughly the same water as it was before, except that it is concentrated in a fewer hands. As you go deeper and deeper, so when you are at 50 feet, it will be more uniformly spread, the water. When you go deeper, it has a habit of accumulating in a fewer pockets. A few guys will get all the water. Okay. Whereas these village-wide pipeline grids, so that currently what happens? I have water, you have no water. You are my mama or something. You won't pay me money if I give you water. I will waste my water rather than it happens like that. Taking money for water is still not a or food. These are not things I have sold. So whereas you are far away, 2 kilometers. You are my friend. I would like to give you water. Let's say if there was no road, will I come to your house as often? So pipeline is like that. The government can step in and like we say pipelines roads to interconnect houses, pipelines to interlink wells, so that water will be used more efficiently. one EPW paper I had read, there it is 2-3 landlords who, I buy up all borewells, I interlink. Now I am one big network. I'll sell water delivery points. He is another big guy, he will have his own. So 2-3 oligopoly will come. But now what happens, recharge structures can be financed. Now I put a check dam, it will improve my water, it will improve my sale. So there is revenue generation in this, but it will become commercial, but at least there will be long-term thinking hopefully. Let's say, right now what happens in rainy season, maybe
the barrier actually for all of us those who want to really work for the society, because it is some policy strategic administrative control. The pipeline and then check them. These are require more finance and more.
But in Gujarat model, entrepreneurship ho gaya, because there are 2-3 guys, they are coming. That's one model. Whereas my NGO friends are pushing for the cooperative model. Now is cooperative a failure? Cooperative is a success wherever there is a prime mover. Some good heart must be there, some Baba, somebody must be there who is about doubt. Okay, you two are fighting, I will come and mediate. Not every village will have that. Whereas the entrepreneurship is everywhere. It has its advantages and disadvantages. Anyway, so for all this visualization and analysis is important, and that's where I said participatory GIS, participatory modeling. So that's why I showed on this slide. So this is the usual chapter and things like that. So when you show maps like this, these are all local farmers. The moment you go to paper pen, the NGOs take over and the farmers are more on the back side. I know that. Anyway, so very quickly, so now when you go to a new area, let's say you go, in the olden days, long surveys used to be done. Even now, one PhD ID came, she wants to run a 10-page survey. Anyway, so then most of the time that information is not processed, because you have to computerize in the olden days before the tabs came, the paper survey. Anyway, long questionnaire surveys was the norm in the 60s. Then somebody always basically World Bank bodies working in developed countries, Africa, Sri Lanka, India, etc. So on about 70s. A lot of money should come, along with money the white man will come, and he wants to quickly understand what is going on. So long questionnaire sheet, right next is rapid rural appraisal. So what does it do? Basically, fairly quick, fairly clean. Quick and dirty is the word, but it should not be dirty, it should be reasonably clean so that it can be used. So that I can quickly go to the village, find out something. Same problem we also have now, right? As a student if I go, or as a faculty if I go. So what are the methods they talk about? To take a walk around, look around, translate walk. It's all common sense. But basically, I talk to set of group of people. Then I talk individually. Because when in the group, you only will be talking, you will not talk. So when I talk individually, you say, nice, he will point out something. So it's a iterative process, group as well as individual. And on all these, you should do stratified sampling to make sure all sections are something, both gender, social, economic, etc. And then finally, you should take a walk around because that will break, okay, what is that, what is this? Why are they going that far to catch water? Why not here? That will be some here, that is there. So there could be so many stories we do. So it's just triangulation you have to do. And then finally, gram sabha to approve and things like that. Then, so basically, there is one guy, Chambers is famous for all this. So basically, we can participate in rural appraisal, where you as an outsider should never be the one who is dictating. You should ideally, should be a facilitator sitting on the sideline. It's ideal, we might never reach. And they should be able, we should facilitate that they make the decisions, not just implement whatever you decide. That is very difficult. So, but what was happening, what is still the case is PRA, all these are buzzwords. Participatory has become a buzzword. Unless you use the word, you won't get funding these days. You have to say stakeholder driven, participatory, then only you will get money. So it has, but that is, so basically this particular thing is about method. Just do whatever I said earlier, tick, it has become a checkbox tick. Translate work, yeah, done. No, the way we do, game the system. So attitude is most important. Where you truly respect the knowledge of the local. Let's say a ma'am goes with gender bias to the lady. You have to somewhere think that lady knows better. She has, nani, whoever, whatever, or to and fro. You know something, she knows something. In what also same way. So these are all the kind of evolution. And then there is also a critique. Basically, who is participating, you have to be very careful. next is participatory mapping. People like to, so I don't know if you know, so this is a kind of column on the ground. So where is our village? Where is our, so they draw, it takes a lot of effort. And now when you on the ground mapping, it is the weaker sections, the women, the poor who will do that. The richer and the man will not bend to do column anyway. So the sections that otherwise are neglected might participate more. This is we used to go on for a long time. So basically this paper talks about mapping. So ground has the advantage of positive, paper has its own advantage and disadvantage. GIS was very negative, saying GIS again will take control out of people. The educated youth who is Bhopal going computer wala will dominate us. He will again be the Mukhya's son or something like that. So he was negative. So what we tried was, this is as part of our project, to develop a project, we developed some mobile app. So middle school children with their teachers. So school children, I know it's great fun to work with them. They are happy to get out. They get some computer literacy when they, like you also taken, we started with schools. Easiest delivery for us is education to point. Anything else, we can't do check them that easily. Whereas education for kuch na kuch we can help. If nothing else, counseling कर सकते हैं. Tuition is really also beneficial. A computer, things, small things we can do. Whereas other things are much more difficult. Even health camp next. Last is water and livelihood. Livelihood is very difficult to interpret. Anyway, so get them to make maps also. Middle school children we were targeting. They gather data, they make maps using GIS, so that the control stays within the village, and the parents also believe, let's say between him and my farm boundary, if my their child is there, I believe that mapping much more than somebody else comes and does. And then take it to their parents will use it, and use maps for somewhere I am all for maps. Maybe I am biased. It's a survival, maybe subconsciously. Anyway, so then how to take it to people? One of the things he was pointing out is training. GIS needs training. That's a negative thing. So we used to hold, why I'm pointing out this is the precursor to my course. I had done some 9 workshops for NGO and university students. This NGO said come. Then school children also we used to, and for them it was great fun. I enjoyed, they enjoyed. And university students also we used to do 5-day certificate we used to give also. So every day we used to repeat it entirely hands-on. First day you quickly cover, second day you repeat, third day, fourth day. Again, same thing we are repeating. Gather data, make map, analyze. First day, 2 days it will go over there. Third, fourth day they will own it. But totally hands-on, immersive. And so now when you have his complaints are who is empowered. Now the moment you bring in GIS, it is a little bit control. Computer people might pull away. Mobile everybody goes to. Computer people will not go as much. So we also had this problem, and now we recently, the way we solved it. So actually this we have tried in Jharkhand, around 162 villages my NGO friends are doing. So that computer way I was pushing for it, and wherever I go it will be because of success. Wherever Ravindra goes it will be a success. But local people can't go, it's not as easy. Whereas this here, what is happening now? This is we take Google based map. We go to the field, the youth will go there, they'll get data, come to block headquarters, make the map and overlay it on this thing. Then you don't take your LCD, everything. You just take this flexi sheet, 6 feet by 6 feet kind. Okay, this is your village, people relate to it. These are all where the wells and check dams are. They are all say, okay, now 1 crore is coming or 10 lakhs is coming, what do we do? Or what needs to be done? They will say, I want this, I want this. So I found generally there is a lot of people participation happens. Okay, so etc. How much of it is doctored we can, but generally it's a good NGO Vasan and 162 villages. At least half of what they claim is reasonable. So now what to do is they are putting board where they want things. Now you take a photograph, come back, upgrade your map. The next meeting you present the previous results. You take 1, 2, 3 iterations. All the equations will be there, but hopefully this will be more democratic. So overall flexi sheet approach of taking GIS to people instead of live computers, etc.
They will get benefits.
So
from this material.
So what typically happens is that we have to submit our village. This village gets identified as watershed. Let us say we So what happens? The contractor fellow will come in. He will not see on the road is there. Will I put a check dam next to the road where material is there, or 4 kilometer rasta mein motorcycle jata hai? Why will I do a check dam? That's where is required. That's where water. I will do it here. एक road के right side पे, left side पे, 2/3 of actually what I have seen in the field is 1/3 of work is decent. 1/3 is at least the contractor has eaten the money. Somebody has eaten the money. 1/3 is you building a water body where there will be no water, neither man has benefited nor beast. It is an empty structure with no water in it. Who has benefited from that beautiful check dam which no water? So this is what typically happens when you don't force a spatial plan. The moment if I insist a long lat coordinate, tomorrow my monitoring will be plus or minus of that long lat. We are hoping they will still not be perfect, but at least that 1/3 wastage will come down. So in this, hopefully the Mukhya will make sure his farm gets a check dam, but he won't get 3 check dams, he get 1. Maybe the other 2 will go somewhere else, possibly. So people relate better, etc., etc. And let's say you are planning a check dam next to my map, and it will submerge my farm. If you come to survey, I know that you have come. Whereas previously, there to there itself you will go, it will come sanctioned and you will build it before I need it.
To identification of check dams and other things.
Visualization, spatial plan. So basically the plan should go like this. This is the kind of plan that 162 villages are doing, etc. We push for. So anyway, back to my story of how. So I was doing this NGO, university, school children. So how I benefited during my time. So I was telling Dr. Kadanakar. So we came to know through Lakshman again when we entered college, and we benefited a lot by exposure visit to the village. So it was sudden. We were from a city, 5 of us. We suddenly, so you can't even get anything there. So it is absolute not poverty. Compared to urban, it's total poverty. Even if that was about 30 years back. Things might have changed a little bit now. Anyway, so we benefited very substantially through those exposure visits to that village. And that is one about exposure visits. Second thing is, this other one was a course. We never went to a village. This technology and development. My process also never gone to a village. Right? Those two. But still, it was entirely reading based. We were given 30 books. Each of us had to read. So somebody read things for our first time. The others won't even know that such a thing existed. I read some big book, whatever. So we used to present, discuss. We got some exposure. So the two has given us some kind of exposure. That is what I thought I should also give to my students when I was at IIIT. I was trying. I am not a great speaker like Vijay Charya. Next time, I don't know what the time. Okay. So he is a very good speaker, Vijay Charya. I know him well. And I have gone and given one guest lecture in his class. So the way he can motivate, etc., is totally different. He is a very people person. So I am only 60-70% of that. Despite that, I did take my students to villages several times. Some exposure I tried. Now he was asking for numbers. Numbers I don't have. But somewhere I am sure it will stick in your mind. Wherever they go, hopefully positive this thing it would have. I benefited, so I wanted to take. Now I have come out of that place and I am now in a private sector where these things don't count as much. So anyway, I am trying to, I am at this service. So NPTEL course is what Abhijit and I are interested in, and we are trying to convince Lakshman that's the route to go. So that many other NPTEL or whatever, how to pull our resources together so that some new person who wants to start, the barrier is much less. How to put the resources together, NPTEL or whatever other way, doesn't matter. And so I also want to start this my 5-day training workshops for NGOs. So recently we had organized all some NGOs and had a meeting in IIT, and we want to restart those. And this time I want to use that kind of course material through that. Ideally NPTEL or something else, whatever. And also keep updating the technologies like I mentioned. So for example, satellite imaging, Google Earth engine. So I want it to be, so we have developed, I was with Tamil Nadu Government Agency for 2.5 years, as GI said. So we were trying to make a mobile app that has this negative advantage, but basically on a mobile app, basically people are anti-computer now, the computer distances them. So here we have, it goes to Google Earth engine without you knowing. You just simply choose your area and date. We fetch the they knowing it should be AML, training data, Google Earth Engine, everything is what we are trying, satellite imagery. But I found satellite imagery resolution is a problem, especially cost. The free 10-meter resolution is too less for scattered farms. So drone is what last 6 months I have been trying. So here again also, like I was mentioning, how to equip the local youth. These are the kind of things I want to put it into my course, both for NGO staff as well as the students.
Okay.
These were
It is a reply, not a BTech students.
Yes, we only had just starting institute, we didn't have any tech, some PhDs were there, we were there. Very few PhD students just starting. So we typically had BTech students.
No, and these are people who are oriented to do information technology. Did they choose or it is a core?
No, so there is a requirement you have to do humanities, so many courses you have to do, science you have to do, those requirements are there. And but we have only 10 faculty members. Okay, the number was going up, we were just being had. I was the 10th faculty member. So now when I said okay, humanities has to be done, I offered. So they were very happy. It's a cost cutting exercise instead of getting somebody from Chennai, we did get. And these are all half courses to credit. So you need to do 2-3 of them. So one person came and spoke from Chennai about Gandhi and etc. My friend. So about these participatory methods also. So I had they have to do some course, and similar to what my friend was saying, it was thinking out etc. It was not much of exams.
No, wait. See, Dhambad experiment is an elective, free elective, but yours is a compulsory and
It's an elective but compulsory. Yeah, elective. It's elective. You can choose mine or Gandhi or somebody else, but.
So you got 200, your colleague might have got another 300, and so you finished off all the thing. But now let us, whatever happened.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that if it was a free thing, today if you are offered it, we will choose it out of, on what basis will they choose it?
Okay, so if it was a totally open kind of course, I would have got maybe 10 students out of 1,000 student pool.
Okay.
Maybe 10-20 because I mentioned NSS for that reason. There are these 10-20 somewhere we need to give back to society. There will be 10-20 always, 1%, 5%. Those will.
Now, the question that we have to address is that how do you motivate, link their course experience with their professional objectives, which they were trying to do through some entrepreneurship models and all that. If you were to do this and link it up with their professional objectives, is there a possibility to do that, or they just do it for fun?
So I have already dropped all those names, AML, Google Earth Engine. So for me, participating GIS, remote sensing, modeling, I have all those.
No, but each of them is a skill job. It's not. What I'm saying is that your target is undergraduates who are sort of wrong, and you are not training them to do GIS or in these are small things that you are exposing them to. And with that exposure, we want a field participation and all that. So what I am asking is that if you want to do this course today, maybe 10 years from now, in the same place, if you had a bunch of undergraduate students, what is the minimum that you would give to them, and what exercises would you give to them to engage in, so that they learn get involved?
So this was the 16th time. I was also teaching a fully technical course. I was teaching them Python programming. I was teaching a formal GIS course, 4-credit technical course. And this was participating GIS in extension of that. So, but it is not required that you need to do the GIS course for this. It is possible to get them to productivity level in these. They can deliver IT tools, play around, show it on their resume, pick up some skills. At the same time, go have fun of showing it in their pages. They are interested or trying it out, etc. I still think I can play the game if I were to go back to the ideas on that. I will get some people interested.
No, what I am saying is that we also have to come up with some recommendations. So how, let us say, focus on UG, because you also taught UG. What is the minimum that we can deliver? We need to expose them. We cannot do teaching of GIS, which we were doing parallelly with them. Expose them and also engage them in activities. So this combination is what, and therefore, with that in mind, how stream can we go and do any of these things?
So, one is the application interests some of them, the participatory part. The other GIS remote sensing part also interests them. And without knowing, they can, I feel I can, if all of them who do AML courses already, they know that background.
So let us say you put it in IIT, like you may have a student who doesn't know AML. When somebody will come with civil background,
everybody knows English, everybody knows AML.
I mean, so.
And there's nothing to know in AML anyway. So basically, I'm working with some interns. Every day evening, I sit at Shivnada University, two in Hyderabad. So we are able to get them to quickly produce results quite well. So, and they all like some rural, something is so I feel it can be done. Basically, you need to have a service flavor. You need to have some technical flavor also at a high level, if you are saying. And both to entice people to come in, both should be there, and both are possible. Not 100%, but
so these are some things that can easily be trained in a short module.
if I had just talked to RRA, BRSL, that participation mapping without the computer thing, it would be a boom. My class numbers will drastically fall to for the NSS also. Because I have put in the technical jargon that expert also, they get that an additional
So we may require all that when we are doing at least undergraduate level, we may require that, but it should not, it cannot go so deep that you engage them completely there, because so we'll have to work on a good combination of
what technology they already know. With what little addition, they will have some incentive to come and dabble in that. Each of us.
I saw an advertisement. There was it was on the road. There is an advertisement which was written like this: कि सिर्फ स्वच्छ जल ही नहीं, स्वस्थ जल ही जीवन है, इस तरीके से. So my question is this: are we trying to improve? Whatever I saw, I felt that we are focusing on the quantity of water, water recharge कर रहे हैं, but not the quality of water. Because if we take the example of Bhopal, in 1984, because of it, Bhopal gets scheduled, the water dilution also happened. So are we thinking on also including not just the quantity, but how to maintain the water quality also? Because there exists a very large industry who claims to purify water and also maintain it. It is a good water which should be. So are we thinking to improve?
So quantity versus quality, there is no versus. IIT Madras hydrology entirely considers substance as a quality department. The domain I come from, the problems in my area is not so much quality, it's quantity. First, after quantity will worry about quality. But quality is not so much. We don't have deep water we are going, but we are not getting that contamination. Fluoride contamination we are not getting that lucky. Some places you get into the fluoride business. Then of course you have your own other problem, your old history. So quality is an issue some places. So basically, whatever is a local issue you have to figure out and identify, the technology will be different. My focus is entirely on quantity because that's the problem that I got exposed. So whereas the place you go to get quality, then the technology solution will be totally different. And that's what the gentleman was pointing out. Filtration, who will finance it, this filtration, the membrane, the power, all those are issues. You will have to, but I don't know about quality. It is not my problem. I mean, that is not the problem I was going to say.
I have a question related to this entire PRI. So we talk about the PRI approach. So basically, I also took technically PRI. So we studied this in PRI now. We also did the field work. So what happens when we go for a field visit? So we should have some kind of understanding of society and other dynamics also, political, social, economical. But if we are not including these kind of theories in the syllabus, so how that undergraduate students will be sensitive and they will grasp all the reality of the society and how they will process about this reality?
So I summarize all that into that one word of factor example. So that one day lecture or one paper I expose. If you see that PRI, the first thing is, who all chamber talks about who is controlling. So I give you two papers and say, look, there is this, please be aware. I'm not going to help, it's all finding your common sense. So some of you will make the connection, some won't. More than that,
because I have some empirical experiences for this. Because when I took admission to IIT, I was quite aware because I was from humanities. But some of the students from technical background also, so they found it very difficult to understand the reality when they went to the field. So it was quite difficult for them to understand. And they were like, "क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग समझ नहीं आ रहा." Sociological thinking.
You take a pampered boy, how difficult it will be to tell him injustice of a gender thing. You won't get it. Or I won't also get it. So that's a challenge. But I tried addressing it through that one word, 2-3 papers. I didn't go beyond. It would be nice, it's all finally putting together resources. If we can give me more resources or nice talk, then I would love to, as and when I teach next, I would like to say, look, jump to those events. About relative Einstein talks better than I can. Why would I talk? So like that, that's where we should share. Yes, it's a shortcoming. I kind of tried addressing it, but I 5%.
So were there any challenges in assessment? Because you said 50% for paper reading. So you said 50% for paper reading. So did they have to present their understanding of the paper?
Right. So basically, 2 papers you will get. You will have to present a summary. And I had, I was only there were 10 of us faculty, but whole covered. Unlike Aditi had more, I had nobody to come and support me. And that is also objectively everything goes. And because we were a federal institute, everything was okay. As long as the students don't go on dharna, everything else is fine. So subjectively will be very high. You are saying something, I am giving you marks, I am not giving it, he will be very upset. So whenever it is subjective, the grade range narrows down. You can't, some fellow say he is a king and this fellow. So your immediate range will come down. You won't give anybody yes. Basically 70 to 90 you will put. So all those issues were there.
And for the second part, what exactly was the deliverable from the students?
So let's say you go to village, you use this app or your own app, you make a map, you will present. So it's a combination of going to the field, collecting data, making a map. It looks good to you, looks good to me. Come, let's go now and go to Dharamsala. You present there and explain.
All that was involved in that 50%.
Right. Because neighboring we had a village. My own village was a little far from the campus. I used to push for and take it there because I know the lay of that class very well. Neighboring village also was there. So
All these maps are not now available in public.
So 16, 19, I will have to dig out and see, but no, it will be there. I can share from somewhere, but we didn't think that far that time. But just 2 credit course, just exposure, like you said, not the second.
The training, I mean, just trying to understand whether the maps have further utility or used for certain purpose.
So we wanted to go to participatory planning. The challenge was to take those plans, get them sanctioned, do all that. But before that, nothing.
So even the government did not use them further.
It was entertainment for them, entertainment was us. By then, before 3 years passed by, I was out of the place. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, means by taking up the GIS pictures and all the models over there. So there is you compare the data from their crops, that how they are growing over there, and just get benefited by your proposal.
So basically,
because our aim is to help out with our technology, with their common sense, their commercial methods, or whatever the traditional methods they are having. So improvise factor.
in the NGO villages,
Yeah.
the community where they are using, all these are right. So they plan using GIS, they monitor using those GIS. So which farms are benefiting, whose farms are benefiting.
Yeah. Means there was some comparison, 6 monthly, yearly basis are like.
So that person is doing.
Yeah.
Not as part of we are getting an implementation. This was just more experiment.
Because ultimately we have to see that the economical growth of that particular village.
Vinodji,